Hello friends. Today we have a sit down video. Hopefully I can get this done before my tree trimmer comes. I have a big oak tree in my yard and they're coming today to trim it. And I have a really long video today. So let's just get into it. Basically, the thought with this video is I'm buying too many books. I'm buying too many books and I need a little accountability, okay? I love books. I love stories. I think we're made for stories. I love that Jesus made us that way. But too much of a good thing is not always a good thing unless you're talking about the Lord Jesus Christ. You know, you can never have too much of Jesus. So my goal is to show you all the books that I have on my physical TBR or to be read, my physical bookshelves. I want to read them down a little bit. I want to kind of slow down on the book buying and read what I own. I really don't want to get into that trap again where I just buy and buy and buy. Basically too much consumerism and not actually reading what I am buying. I'm going to be putting timestamps down below so that if you're not interested in a certain genre or section of books, you can just skip right on through. But without further ado, let's get into it. Where do I start? Let's do classics first, okay? The first one is Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. This book is just really, really pretty. I really want to try to read Shakespeare. I've been really nervous to read any Shakespeare just because of the language and the differences there, but I kind of feel like I will love it at the same time. I just need to get over some fear and just try, you know, just try it. So this is number one. The second one that I have that is also Shakespeare is Hamlet. And this one is the cheater one because it's the no fear Shakespeare where it like has the common English and then the Shakespeare language, Old English. But this one is also a classic, also one that I really want to read. I'm just really feel like I'm going to enjoy Shakespeare. So if you've read any, let me know your favorites down below. I would love to hear which ones you think I should start with, or yeah, what ones were your favorite. Next is a classic that I really want to read so soon, especially in springtime, because it is just springtime feels, you know? But that's Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. This is a Rifle Paper Company edition. It's so beautiful. Also, I'm not going to go into all these synopses because we would literally be here for so long. But if I have like a feeling or something that I want to say about it, I'll say it. But I'm not going to go into all the synopses for obvious reasons. But this is just springtime in a book. I absolutely love Anne. I think she's such a brilliant and just a character who's not afraid to be herself, who doesn't know how to not be herself, and I just love that. I really want to read this with my girls one day, and I want to read it right now. So there's that. The next classic is Pride and Prejudice by Miss Jane Austen. I cannot tell you how excited I am to read this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be reading this in the month of May. Hopefully with my friend Rachel. She is in the middle of moving, so we'll just have to see about that. I also love this book. It says, "You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you." Yes. Yes, please. So Kaitlin and I were having a conversation the other day, and she said that I may not be a romance girly, which I feel like that's the case, but I might be a classic romance girly. And I think she's right. I think she is probably very, very right. So I'm excited to give this a try. Okay, the next one is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This one's kind of random, but it's one that I've wanted to read for a long time. I think this is all about wishing for youth and vanity a little bit. I don't know much more about that, but it has interested me for so long. And I need to read it, like all of these. The Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan. This specific edition is retold by Cheryl V. Ford. This is a really pretty edition. There's no pictures in this book, but I'll try to find, yeah. So like there's like little footnotes of scripture as you go through it. This is all about the Christian life and the struggles therein, casting our burdens on the Lord. And I'm very excited to read this. I know it will impact me so much. And I don't know if you guys have seen the illustrated movie, like the cartoon movie of this, but it's so good. I think it's on Prime, but I loved it and it made me want to read the actual story. So here I am with it. So let's go on to just Christian fiction. Okay, like no mysteries, just Christian fiction. And the first two I have are in a series called The Inn at Magnolia Harbor. This is Where Hope Blooms, and this is Safe Harbor. I went to Half Price Books not that long ago, and I think someone had like unhauled all of their little books like this. There were some mysteries, there were these, and they just sounded so sweet and good and wholesome, and they're not very long, and so I think it could be a really good palate cleanser for me. Also, this is by Elizabeth Penny, who has some cozy mysteries in the secular realm, and I was so excited to see that she has written a lot of Christian fiction and Christian mysteries. So anyways, that's for free, I guess. But I think you're just following these people who come to this Magnolia Inn. That's pretty much it. All that I know. I'm here for just a good cozy time. You know what I'm saying? And also these covers are just really pretty. I think they're just a lot of fun. Excited for these. I guess this is technically fantasy, but we're putting it here because I'm holding it. It's The Horse and His Boy by C.S. Lewis. This is the next book in the Chronicles of Narnia series that I need to read. I loved The Magician's Nephew, and I loved The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I really am excited to continue on in this series. I've heard that this one does something different, like it's not following the kids anymore, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm here for it. I love these covers. They are my favorite. Also, this one is actually illustrated with color on the inside, and I was so excited to see that. So, you know, I'm excited. How many times can I say that? The next one that I have, I found at a library sale, and I honestly don't know much about it. But it was in the kitchen? It was in the Christian fiction section of the library sale, and it was like $1. So I got it. It's Tempest in a Teapot. It says Tales from Grace Chapel Inn by Judy Bear. Literally don't know anything about it, but the cover is cute. And it says over 1 million hardcover books sold. I think this is like one in a series. Anything that is Christian has to do with an inn. Sign me up. Like, I literally don't need to know more. You know what I'm saying? Next is a Tessa Afshar book, Land of Silence. This one is all about the woman with the blood issue in the Bible. So many people have told me to read Tessa Afshar, that I would love her, that she is amazing. She actually converted from Islam to Christianity, I think as an adult or a young adult, and I'm here for it. I'm really excited to read this story in particular. I know it's gonna like slay my heart in a good way, in the best way. So yeah, thank you, Amanda, for Amanda's channel was the first channel that I heard of this book in particular, and so real excited for it. The next one, I don't know if it's Christian, but I'm gonna put it here because it's about C.S. Lewis. And that is Once Upon a Wardrobe by Patty Callahan. I feel like maybe it's not Christian, but again, we're just putting it here, so roll with it. I am really excited for this, especially seeing people's reactions as they read it or after they've read it. My friend Kaitlin has read this, my friend Amanda has read this, and both have raved and raved and raved about it, especially if you love Narnia. And so I kind of want to read Narnia and then read this book, but it's a fictionalized tale of a woman who goes on a mission to talk to C.S. Lewis, I think, because her little brother is dying or something of that nature. And she is determined to get answers from C.S. Lewis. So I'm excited. I know it's going to break my heart, but sometimes you need a book to break your heart, right? The next two are some Francine Rivers. I do have some Francine Rivers on my shelves that I want to reread, but these are ones that I have never read before, and that is The Masterpiece and A Lineage of Grace. These are very different books. This is like a contemporary story. All I know about this, I think it's a romance, and I think it has to do with spiritual warfare. Also, I think there's an art element to this. Someone is stealing something. I don't know. I really don't know much about this, but I have heard it's very good. It's Francine Rivers. You know it's gonna hit your heart. It's gonna hit your gut. It's gonna hit your soul in some sort of way. So I'm excited to get to it. And then this book is actually a compilation of little short novellas that she has written about Tamar, Rahab, Ruth, Bathsheba, and Mary. And I am really excited for it. I'm a little bit nervous because there's mixed reviews on this, but I think it's telling these stories from the Bible through the lens of these women's perspectives. Also, these are women in Jesus's lineage. That's why it's Lineage of Grace. I just remembered that. So, okay. That's that. Let's do Christian romance next, okay? All That It Takes by Nicole Deese. I recently read All That Really Matters by Nicole Deese and really liked it. This is the companion novel to that one. This one is following the brother of the main character of the last one. He's a pastor, and that's all I know. I've actually heard that this one is even better than the first one, and I really enjoyed the first one. Nicole Deese has a way, as far as I know, I've only read one of her books, but she has a way of telling a story that matters. Like, she has deeper meaning in her romance, and I really love that, and I really appreciate that so much. So I'm very looking forward to getting to this one. Also, these covers are so pretty. I just love them. And then I did pick up Authentically Izzy by Pepper Basham. I have heard this one is really cute. It's kind of told in letter form, which I love. Epistolary, isn't that what it's called? I think they write letters back and forth to each other. It just seems so cute and right up my alley. I think it's kind of like Southern Charm sort of feels. I really don't know much more about that. I got it at my Mardell. It's like my Christian bookstore around here for $5. So you can't beat that, right? I'm just excited to get into this and see if I like Pepper Basham as a writer, as an author, and if I like her romances. The next one I think is so funny because covers are cheesy sometimes, okay? They are. But I have A Cowboy for Keeps by Jody Headland. This is the first book in Colorado Cowboys series. Take it in. You know, just take it in. I think actually this cover is really beautiful with the purples and such, but we have a cowboy on the cover. We do. It's there. We're accepting it. Kaitlin has read this book. She has read, I think, up to book 3, but she absolutely loves it, and she said that she thinks I will like it. I think this is a marriage of convenience between a woman who goes to a town to marry someone because she's desperate. She doesn't have any other options, because this is set in like the early 1900s or something like that. The man who she's going to marry dies, and then I think ends up marrying someone else. She has a little sister that she's trying to take care of, and I've started the very beginning of this and was really liking it. I need to return to it. It says it's uplifting and well crafted. Headland has a knack for creating unlikely yet alluring matches. LOL to a cowboy on the cover. And then the last Christian romance that I have is Sweetbriar Cottage by Denise Hunter. This one is like a second chance romance, which I'm very excited because these people were married. I don't think they've officially even gotten a divorce, but they end up at this cottage for some reason. They get stuck there together, and then maybe they come back together, which I love. I love that. I don't think I've ever read a book like that where it's like second chance between married people. I'm excited to give Denise Hunter a try. She also has a book that I've been eyeing a lot. It's something with an N, and these siblings go back to try to sell this inn that they've inherited, but then they end up, I think, staying. And it's a book series. I think this is a standalone. But if you've read a Denise Hunter, let your girl know which one have you liked, all the things, because I think she just really intrigues me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Also, her covers are really pretty in my opinion. Let's move into some Christian suspense / mysteries, thrillers, I don't know. Frank Peretti, The Oath. Oh, I have two Frank Perettis, The Prophet and The Oath. Really excited to continue reading through Frank Peretti's backlist. This, I think, is about a beast who's terrorizing the town. That's all I know, literally. And then this one, I literally don't know anything about. But Oceana had a really good review on this. It just interested me. I think that it's, yeah, I have no idea. I tried to read the back just now and I don't know. But I'm excited. I like this old school cover a lot. I really am interested to continue on reading his stuff to see if I really like his writing style, his books, or if it was like a one-hit wonder for me with This Present Darkness. This next one I'm very excited about, and I have never heard about this, but Kaitlin gave it to me, and that is A Rumored Fortune by Joanna Davidson Politano. Wow, can I read? I don't know. Politano. This is all about like a woman who inherits a castle, I think. Welcome to Trevelyan Castle, home of the poorest heiress in Victorian England. Tressa Harlow's father kept his vast fortune hidden somewhere on the estate in the south of England and died suddenly without telling anyone where he had it concealed. Now Tressa and her ailing mother are left with a mansion and an immense vineyard with no money to run it. They have to find where he literally buried the fortune on this estate, or else they lose it. So I don't know. It sounds very interesting. Kaitlin accidentally bought two, and so she kindly gave me this one. Also, again, this cover, like, yes. This next one is the next book in the If I Run series. That is If I'm Found by Terry Blackstock. I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed If I Run. It was so good. It was so good and just a fun time. So this is following Casey Cox. I'm not even gonna read the back of this because I don't want to be spoiled for it, but the first book is all about a Casey Cox. She's basically on the run because people think that she committed a crime when she didn't, but she knows that the police won't believe her for some reason. Next, because I like Terry Blackstock, I got Cape Refuge. This, I think, has to do with a secluded island. Again, I don't want to know. I don't want to know, but my Mardell had this. And since I loved If I Run so much, I thought I'd give her other series a try. I need to like be better about completing series and then buying the next first book in a series. But your girl has no chill sometimes, so here we are with this. I think there's 4 books in this one, but I've told myself I'm not going to buy any more until I complete these, right? Until I read them. The next one is Cold Pursuit by Nancy Mell. This one I also found at the library sale and it was like $2. It's actually large print, which I think is funny because whoa, that is a lot of large print. But this is my first Nancy Mell that I've ever bought. She's a Christian suspense thriller writer. I really want to see if I like her writing, if I feel like it's for me, because Nancy Mell is one of Kaitlin's favorites and a bunch of other people's favorites, like suspense authors. I don't know anything about this other than it was $1 or $2, so your girl got it to try. And I won't have a hard time reading it, you know, because it's huge. Okay, next I have 2 Jamie Jo Wrights. This is The Reckoning at Gossamer Pond, and this is The Curse of Misty Wayfair. She is giving me Jennifer McMahon feels with Christian influences. Most of her books these definitely have like a past timeline and then a present timeline with a mystery involved and Christian themes that I've heard are just really good and powerful. Man, I cannot tell you how excited I am. I'm honestly kind of nervous because I want to love her books so bad. But I'm nervous that I don't know why I'm nervous that I'm not. It sounds like my cup of tea, but I'm just like, I want to love her so much that, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? So I need to read her books because there's other books of hers that sound really good too. So if I like these, I'll get to those. My feet are falling asleep. I'm gonna do Christian middle grade. I only have 2 and I'm not a middle grade person, but I really want to have a library started for my girls as they grow. The First Wing Feather, On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness by Andrew Peterson. This one is actually illustrated, which I think is so fun. Like, I think that's awesome. It's following siblings. They have to defeat a dragon, and I love that. Love that. So, I also know there's like a TV series for this book. That's fun also. Wow, my foot is very asleep. The next one is Seeker by Diane Layton. This was a recommendation for me from my mentor Kendra. She is awesome, but she told me about this book a while ago now. It's all about this boy named Seeker, and he travels far and wide on a mission for the king, battling dragons, lost souls, and his own mistakes. Seeker must learn to follow his heart and the lead of the king to rescue friends and strangers alike. His dangerous journey takes him far beyond the borders of the kingdom in search of his father on the hidden island of despair, to rescue his friends from a deceit-filled Carnival circus, and to uncover the secrets hidden in his own home. I feel like this is giving me Pilgrim's Progress, where words have more meaning. I started reading this just the other day, and like certain friends are named certain things to describe their characters. So yeah, it just sounds like a good time. We're getting into Christian cozy mysteries because your girl's a cozy mystery girly, and I love it. I love it so much. The first one is Tea Room for Two by Susan Page Davis. This is the first book in the Tea Room Mystery series. I'm so excited for this. This is about 2 cousins that start a tea room and solving mysteries. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. There's like 1.5 million books in this series, so I'm excited to see if I like it. I will say a bunch of Christian cozies are written by different authors, which I kind of love. That way you can get a taste for different authors' writing. But it will be interesting to see if it can keep the same tone and characters feeling the same. Really excited for this. The next one is A New Chapter by Kristen Eckert. I recently talked about this in my Christian fiction that I want to read video. It's Secrets of Mary's Bookshop. It's about Mary. She opens a mystery bookshop and then ends up solving mysteries. Can you say anything more me? I don't know. I don't know if you can, because also it's about Jesus. So, yes. The next one is Annie's Attic Mysteries, Letters in the Attic. I'm honestly not 100% sure about this one. I'm kind of thinking I might unhaul it because this whole letters, finding letters, especially when it's like World War II, someone wrote a letter in World War II, I don't know. Oh, this is by Deanna Julie Dodson. What I think happens is someone finds a letter in an attic, as the title suggests, and then they go on a journey to figure out who it was meant for, what was their story, etc., etc. This next one I don't think is a mystery, but here we are with it, because it was in the stack, because it looks like it. That is Seaside Summer by Pam Hansen and Barbara Andrews. This is Miracles of Marble Cove. I think this is like a cozy Christian fiction. This is following a woman who has a business, but there's a storm that damages the roof of her business. And it's just bad timing because tourist season on this island or wherever she is just starting, and she doesn't really have a lot of money to repair the roof. all the drama, all the things. But this is a Christian fiction. I'll put it in that category. Next is Mysteries and the Minister's Wife, A State of Grace by Tracy Dupree. Okay, it's cheesy. It is. It is. I'm not going to tell you it's not, but I'm excited for it. It's about a minister's wife. Pretty sure. It says on the back, in our darkest moments, God's grace shines. I really don't know anything about this, but I'm here for it. A good cozy mystery time. This next one, I can't express how excited I am to read. And that is The Grim Reader by Margaret Welch, I think is how you say it. But this is one book. It's probably way down the line, but it's in the Secrets of the Castleton Manor Library series. This is also a Christian mystery, and Castleton Manor Library. Okay? I really want to read the first one because it is by Elizabeth Penny, who I mentioned earlier, who has a bunch of cozy mysteries. This is very short as well, so I think it'd be just a fun, quick little time, you know? A good old time. I honestly don't know anything about this. But I saw it at Half Price Books, and it's a Christian cozy, and it's about a library. You don't need to say anything else. The last Christian cozy mystery that I have is the Tea Shop Mysteries. These are 4 mysteries in one. 4 mysterious deaths steeped... Death? Wow. I've been talking too long. 4 mysterious deaths steep in coastal Maine. That's really hard to say. But this cover is really cute. And I got it at my cozy mystery. I really have been talking too long. I got it at my Mardell. Okay? It's like 4 little short stories of cozy mystery goodness. And that's all I know. The next cozies that are not Christian, just secular cozies. The first one I have is The Darling Dahlias and the Cucumber Tree by Susan Wittig Albert. I am so excited about this. I think this is surrounding a girl gang, like a group of girls, women, older women who are like Southern belles, and they're solving mysteries. I don't need to say anything else. Murder at the Mansion. Also, by the way, a lot of these I found at the library sale for like $2. So that was awesome. Murder at the Mansion by Sheila Connolly. This is like a Victorian cozy mystery. Victorian village mystery. Also the cover. I love it. Dyeing Up Loose Ends. This is a knitting mystery by Maggie Sefton. I don't need to say anything else at all. Got it at the library sale. A Good Day to Pie. I love cozy mystery titles. Like, I love them. They're so funny and so fun. This is a pie shop mystery by Carol Culver. The next one I have been wanting to read for a long time, and that is Murder is Binding by Lorna Barrett. This is a Booktown mystery. This is the first book in that series, and it's basically about a mystery bookshop. And she's solving crimes, solving mysteries. Next is Gone for Gouda by Karina Moss. This is the second book in the cheese shop. Is it cheese? Yeah, a cheese shop mystery. This is set in the fall, and so I'm kind of wanting to keep it for the fall, but I loved the first book in this series called Cheddar Off Dead, but I'm really excited to continue on in this series. It's about a cheese shop in the Sonoma Valley. It's really good. Meet Your Baker by Ellie Alexander. This has Shakespeare feels, it has bakery feels. Need I say more? Ellie Alexander has another cozy mystery series, and it's about breweries. That is so hard to say, but it's such a fun, cute series. I've read the first book in that one, and I want to read this one and continue on in the other one too. But, you know, time and all that. Oh, we're missing a classic. Okay, Wind in the Willows. This accidentally got put in the cozy mystery section because it's the size of a cozy mystery. So, forgive me. This is by Kenneth Grahame. This is about a group of animals who are friends, traipsing around, getting into trouble. It's a middle grade. I'm excited to read it. I've heard it's so cute. I love it. I'm so excited. The next cozy mystery I have is Twilight Falls by Juno Black. I cannot express to you how much I love this cozy mystery series. It's so wholesome and fun and cute. It's following forest creatures. And so, you know, just stuff like that. They're very personified forest creatures and they get up to trouble. And then people have to help solve these mysteries. Specifically, Vera Vixen. She is the town crime reporter. She's a fox. It's just adorable. I really want to read this before the summer because the fourth book in this fourth or fifth, either the fourth or the fifth book comes out in the summer, I think in July. It's called Summer's End and it's adorable. I also have it on NetGalley, so I need to read this and then read that one and have just the best time. The next one I got at Half Price Books and I was so happy because I almost bought it at Barnes & Noble, but Barnes & Noble's so expensive, y'all. Tea and Treachery by Vicky Delaney. She has a bunch of cozies that I really want to try, but this one's about a tea shop and a grandma and a granddaughter. Okay, Kaitlin loved it. I'm excited. The last cozy mystery that I have is The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. I don't know. This I found at the library sale also. It's large print, so we're not gonna have a hard time reading it. This is the third book in the Thursday Murder Club book series. These characters are so amazing. The love I have for these characters is just a lot. The Thursday Murder Club, if you don't know, it's about these octogenarians trying to solve cold cases, but then they get wrapped up in a murder mystery that's like present day, and they get up to trouble. They get up to so much trouble, and it's just so good. I love it. I am nervous. I don't want this series to end, and so I'm like, I don't know. I just don't want it to end. So I'm taking my time. Probably going to be reading this soon though, because I do want to see what happens. When you have an author who's writing older characters, nothing better happened to these characters, okay? Like nothing better happened to them. All right? Let's do some fantasy, okay? The next one is The Door in the Hedge by Robin McKinley. It looks kind of medieval fairy tale. This one I got at the library sale also. It's about a princess in a kingdom. It was in the young adult section. It just kind of looked like a fun time. I really don't know anything about it, so I'm not even gonna try. But then I have Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson wrote this for his wife. He wrote it for her, okay? It's a fairy tale. It's about Tress, who lives on this island and collects cups. So adorable, just so adorable. And then she has to go on an adventure for some reason. I don't really know, but I think if she touches the sea, it could mean that she dies. I'm not sure other than that, but I have some friends who have absolutely loved this book, and I think that Ben and I, my husband and I, are going to try to read this together because I think that would be really fun. I just do. I think it'd be a good time. The next one I have is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have struggled with Sarah J. Maas, whether or not to read her, to not read her, but I have this book, okay? This is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. This is her young adult fantasy series following Selena Sardathian. In the first book, it felt kind of Hunger Games where there was trials. She was basically forced to compete to become the king's assassin, but she doesn't like the king. She doesn't like the kingdom, and so she thinks it's evil. And she, I think, maybe rebels. I don't know, but I am excited to continue on. I feel like I'm going to continue and see how it goes. I've decided that her adult content is not for me, just with the explicitness of it, but I am excited to continue on into this series because it's young adult and clean to my knowledge. Yeah, that's what I know about that. The next one I have is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I don't know if I'm going to be keeping this one, but it intrigues me. You know, it intrigues me, but I kind of feel like I'm going to be unhauling this soon. I don't know. Have you read it? Let me know. Let me know. This is young adult. It is fantasy. Obviously, we're in the fantasy section. Stephanie Garber had a series called Caraval. There's 3 books in that series, and this is set in the same world. Kind of mythology influences, I think. Fairy tale, carnival, mythology. Either people have loved this or they have not loved this. Let me know if you think that I would like it based on what you've seen me read. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this. The next one I am very excited to read. I actually started reading this and then for some reason stopped. I don't know. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This Oceana has like raved about. I think she's read it like 2 or 3 times. Amanda loved this. Other friends, I think Jordan really loved this and said that she thought that I would love it too. I am really liking it so far. Basically like the haves and the have-nots. And I can't remember what you call it, ordinary versus elite. And 2 of them find each other and chaos happens. It's young adult and I've heard that it's clean. So I think if I'm being honest, I've been really nervous about fantasy, especially secular fantasy, even if it's young adult, because young adult sometimes has some stuff in it that I just, either it's like too explicit, which I'm like, this is young adult, y'all. This is supposed to be like clean fiction, or like language is really harsh. And I know that doesn't bother everyone, but it bothers me. I'm just trying to be honest of where I'm at with things. So excited to continue on. I don't know why I stopped reading it, okay? I just don't know. 2 more sections. Secular romance / women's fiction? I don't know. But it's The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie by Rachel Linden. This I found at Half Price Books. And it's about a woman who opens up a pie shop, I think. She's had a lot of grief. Her mom has died. I think she's broken up with her boyfriend. And I think her pie shop went under. But then like there's some magical realism here because I think her aunt gives her lemon drops. Yeah, 3 lemon drops that allow her to see what her life would be like if she went different paths or certain things never happened or they did happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. Kaitlin and I were talking about how we really want to find some Debbie Maycomer-like authors, like a little bit younger millennial Debbie Maycomer. And Debbie Maycomer blurbed this book, so that's why I bought it. And it did sound really interesting. I've heard that it's very uplifting and very like a positive fiction book, so I'll give it a try and let you know. The last book in this section is My Phony Valentine by Courtney Walsh. Y'all are all probably screaming at me that how dare I not have read this book already. And yeah, okay, I know, I hear you, but listen, I want to read it soon. Courtney Walsh used to write Christian romance, so I think I feel really safe going into her books, especially like, you know, secular realm romance. You just never know what you're gonna get, and for me, personally, in my romances, I really need it to be no sex. Not just no sex, but like no crazy tension. I'm good with like it being cute, but when it crosses a line, it's not for me because my mind struggles. But all I know is this is like a hockey romance. It's surrounding Valentine's Day, but I've heard that it's not overly Valentine-y. Also, Kaitlin told me that this man prays over this woman. There's a sassy grandma in this book, according to Keisha and Kaitlin. And I'm just here for it. We are finally in our last section, okay? I don't know how long this video is, but hopefully you've had a good time. The last section is young adult mysteries because I don't know what it is. I've been craving young adult mysteries. These are all secular, I think. One might not be, I don't know. But the first one is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. This is about a girl, I almost said a little girl, I don't think she's little. She's at a private school in Vermont. There was a cold case that had to do with this school, and she takes it upon herself to try to solve this mystery of what happened to, I think, the headmaster's wife and child. There was like a mysterious note left behind, and she is on a mission to solve it. There are 3 books in the first, I think there's 4 books actually in this series, but 3 of the books tackle this cold case. I've heard that some people expect the mystery to be completely solved after book 1, but it doesn't. So just so you know, I'm really excited for this. I'm hoping to do a young adult mystery reading vlog soon and put this in it. Have you read this? Do you like it? Let me know. The next one, I am so excited for it. I didn't even know this was out until the other day because I've just been so out of the book world, but that is the reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. Holly Jackson wrote A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and I absolutely loved it back in the day. It's kind of the same feel of this book because in that series, in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, she is like in high school. She has a project where she decides to try to tackle a cold case in her town and then gets into a lot of trouble. But it was such a good mystery, and I'm very excited for this. I think it has to do with a young girl who has a documentary, or she's having a documentary made about her and her family, I think. I'm pretty sure her mom went missing and then her mom reappears. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I think happens in this book. We have The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Jennifer Lynn Barnes, I didn't put it together in my mind that this is the same author as the Inheritance Games. That book was so much fun. I need to continue on in that series too, but what I know about this is that Kaitlin loves it. Pretty much, if Kaitlin loves a mystery, I'm probably going to love that mystery too. Okay, we just have very similar taste in mysteries. But what I know about this is it's following a group of teens with abilities, maybe supernatural abilities, or I don't really know if they're supernatural or not, but they're solving mysteries. And she said it's amazing. So I bought it and I have it. I'm gonna put it in that vlog. Finally, I think this is my final book that I own. Oh my gosh, We Were Kings by Court Stevens. I got this for $5 at my Mardell, which makes me think, this is Christian? Is this a Christian young adult mystery? I don't know, but then I saw it at Barnes & Noble. I don't know, but then there's a Bible verse here in the dedication, and she dedicates it to her grandma. Okay, I don't know. It's following a woman who is convicted of murdering her best friend, and the death penalty has just been instated or something in her state, or like has come back and been reinstated, I think, and so she has days to live, basically. And surprisingly, a family member of the woman who was murdered comes back and is like contesting the fact that she did it. So they're like fighting for her to get off, basically. And then they're trying to figure out what actually happened. I think there's like drama with the family dynamics, and I don't know, I'm here for it, but I am excited to do a young adult reading vlog soon. All right, that's all the books I own. Did you count them? Because I didn't, but here's the number. This is why I need to read the books that I own, okay? Because I really don't want it to get out of control. I really want to read what I have, right? And then I can go and enjoy more. I also really want to utilize my library more and not spend so much money on purchasing books. Let me know what book you think I should read first, which one you're most excited to see me read, and maybe I'll read it. I don't know. Let me know down below. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell, because then you'll get notified when I post a video. Okay? I really appreciate you watching, especially if you watched to the end. I really, really do appreciate you guys. I am praying that you each feel the love of the Lord today, that He makes Himself known to you, that you feel His peace and His presence right now in Jesus' name. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.